Hey guys, we're live on the moon. It's Saturday evening, 8:05 p.m., October 27th, 2012, and I'm conducting more tests with this Logitech C920 camera. On the screen, you have off-center at 9 o'clock a famous crater called Aristarchus crater. It's 40 kilometers wide, or about 24 miles wide, and it's that very, very intensely bright crater. And I'm using this camera. This is and see how it's a bright moon, and when I go roll to the, we'll leave it right there for right now. When I roll to the right with the crater in this, I get more. Somebody said, "Well, Bill, your camera's not." I don't know if this camera's going to cut it or not. I'm still conducting these tests. I do have more dynamic range, I know, with the other camera, but I do have some stability that I like. I don't have those sparkles. I watched that video I made. The last one I made several times. Let's zoom in and see what we can do with this crater. That's a pretty good shot of the crater. Let's back out a little bit. And let's just see if I can focus it in any better. I don't think I can. But you are seeing quite a bit of color. What am I meaning by dynamic range? Well, with contrast and brightness, I should be able to control this visual image better. Like with contrast, if I turn it up, I get more white out than and I turn it down, and my brightness is all the way down. I'll tell you what I'm going to do, just to be fair about it. I think what I'm going to do is put that other camera in a little bit and try to do it on this same video. But for right now, I think what I'm going to do is just simply put in the moon filter and see, because this is a bright moon, and see if I can get more dynamic range out of this. But that's really a pretty spectacular image. If you watched Jose's Escamilla's movie Celestial, this is a famous. See the gold mines on the left side of what I see is a patch of green. It's like what you got are trees up there, guys. I know you don't. And you got the crater kind of centered exactly. And below that crater, you have a crater that's almost as big. It's called Aristarchus crater. And it looks like you have a lava. It looks like a river, but it's probably from an ancient lava field or something like that. But from Earth and from the air, it looks really spectacular. It looks like a river, but it is not a river. And some of these smaller craters, let me give you an example. Let me make sure I'm going to show you the right one. There's a crater. If you look at that, going the wrong way, I get all excited when let me back out a little bit. If you look at that river, it's pointing to the crater below, Aristarchus. Right above that that kind of bend, there's two small craters, and one below and one above in a lighter patch. The one above, it's called Valselia crater, And Valseia crater is 8 kilometers wide, which is less than 5 miles wide. So you can see we're getting in there pretty close, but we're also getting kind of out of focus a little bit. So let me work the focus again, just a little bit. I'm going to stick with this crater for just a little bit because we don't have a we have a pretty spectacular image right now. And then we're going to go up to the north and look, see how it's out of focus. Try to get it in focus again. By the way, my name is Bill Bryson. There it is. And I'm from Richmond, Texas, a little town west of Houston. We've had some weather. I mean, this Sandy coming in on the East Coast is affecting Texas. Putting it on pause and putting in a moon filter, and I can talk when I get back. Hang on. Okay, guys, I put in that moon filter, and you can see it darkened it up a little bit, and I think I lost some of the color range. But let's move it to the right now and see it doesn't, and move the other way and see if it flares up again. It flares up, but not as bad. Okay, well, let's stick right here and let's work the contrast down a little bit. Look at that. We had a little glitch. That's with the new camera, so maybe the video driver hasn't been fixed completely like I think it should be. And I got the color 100%. Let me back the color down a little bit. No, it's just a bright moon. What I'm going to do now, let me just zoom in. Yeah. That's probably as good as I can get it, as close as I can get it. In the movie, Jose saw these gold mines on the left side, kind of at the left side of that patch, what he called the gold mines. I don't know. I don't know. That's a pretty good picture. Okay, let's go up here and look at La Place Promontory and work the brightness a little bit. See, I just don't have as much control as I think I should. And Herculean Promontory, and let me just work the. I'm gonna put that other camera in a minute if I can on this same video. Hang with me. I'm gonna try to focus it a little bit better. And if I back out all the way, let's just kind of go. I got that Barlow in. Let's just kind of go around a little bit so we can compare it with that other camera when I get it. Now, see, it's really a difficult, even with the. Okay, here we got something to look at. At the bottom of the moon, and let's just zoom in a little bit. And now let's work the focus just a bit. You're guinea pigs again tonight, guys. By the way, I did see a UFO when I was off camera, so they might be flying around. And let's go back up to Aristarchus, and then I'll try to put in that other camera, and then we can compare it. Not sure I'm satisfied with this thing yet. Just doesn't seem to give me the dynamic range that I think I need to have. And okay, I'm going to put it on pause and let's see if I can change this camera out or not. Hang with me, guys. Okay, guys, I'm back, and I've got the C910 in there now. I know I'm going to have to splice these together, and I don't like to do that, but I will for this test. And I do have that same imagery up, and you can see that there are little sparkles that come in now. And you can see I have a dynamic range. See, there's a contrast all the way up and then all the way down. So I have a tremendous dynamic range with the contrast and the brightness and the color way overdrive. So I have plenty, but you can see those sparkles that come in, and this is, again, a function of the driver. But we're going to try to, and I have that moon filter in it and the Barlow. Everything's the same as that last test. And let's zoom in now. And try to focus it a little bit better. See, it's just not going to. Okay, let's go up. See, there's that glitch again. And in comparing apples and apples, this is what we, it's not the best night for. And there's Laplace. And let's go down like we did before, kind of. And when I didn't get the white out that I did before. And I do have, I think, more defined dynamic range with this new camera, with this old camera. And see the contrast, I have more, I think I have more control over the definition. But you can see those sparkles in there. I don't like those. And let's just zoom in. And there's Crystal Lake. And it's hard for me to decide what's better. I think for sure if I had a, see, that's some really spectacular imagery there of that Aristarchus crater. I want to call it Aristarchus. It's Aristarchus. But I'm not. I thought maybe a side-by-side would help. And let's just move over here. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it on pause, and I'm going to go out there and take that moon filter off so we can compare it then without the moon filter. Again, with the C910. And I know I'm looking at this thing, and on the screen I can see these little sparkles coming up, you see. And I know all of them don't show up on the video, but some of them do, and some of them show up as little kind of yellowish, or but see, like right here, I can turn the brightness down, and I can bring out the color a lot easier and better with these controls than with the ones on the same. I can give it more dynamic definition in contrast, even to the point where I can bring out a lot of debris. So I really like that in this control. I'm going to pause it and take that moon filter out, guys. You're guinea pigs tonight again. Hang with me. Okay, and there you can see why I like the C910. I think that's the best image that I've had all evening. I do not have the moon filter in. You can see why I don't like to use the moon filter. It does retard the image quality. I know we have something going on the left side, but that's not detracting from our image. Let's zoom in. As close as we can get. Even though we have sparkles, this is the best I think that we've been able to do. Back out a little bit. Okay, now let me adjust the brightness up and the contrast. See how when I move the contrast, I can really bring out some of the details around that riverbed. Let me turn the colors all the way down. It's completely off. And you can still see sparkles. Color right now is at 40%. See, now it's way overdrive. It's 100% right there. So I have full range of color. I have better control. I don't know. I'm kind of hedging my bets. And on this particular camera with this rig, when I go all the way out, I got 15 steps of zoom. Let's go up here and look at there's Plato at the very top. And we're just not going to see the quality, I think, up here. Laplace and Herculeum, and simply because of the fact that we're not in the shadow line. But you can see when I turn the brightness down, it brings out some of the color. And let's go to the Sea of Serenity and the Sea of Tranquility. If I can find it. Up, 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 up. The only reason I'm doing this live is because I've had a lot of interest generated in these cameras, and in particular people that have them, and there's the Sea of Serenity on the left and the Sea of Tranquility. And let's just work this image a little bit. See the Tranquility on the right, but we're dealing with a very bright moon, so That's probably as good as I can get. And if I turn the color down a little bit, okay, well, okay, I'm going back over to Aristarchus, Aristarchus crater, and I'm going to stop this camera, and what I'm going to do with these is I'm going to paste them together, and that way we'll have a continuum of video to show you to compare them. But I do like the ranging. I see I can really bring out some details there that I don't think I could show you on the other camera. But just to be fair, just to be fair, and this is my final test, and I'll probably decide what I'm going to do after I watch this video. But I'm going to put in that other, and I don't like that flickering on the left either. I know that is there. I'm going to put in the C920, which does not have any flickering, does not have any sparkles, and seems to be a better driver. And let's compare it one more time, and then we're going to shut this one down. I'm going to stop this, and we'll paste these 3 videos together and upload them as one. Hang with me. One more shot at the C920 without the moon filter, guys. Okay, C920 without the moon filter, and I'm also recording this one at RGB settings, and I'm not sure if that's going to make a difference. I'm going to zoom in now and see. You see, that's really not that bad. And if I turn the brightness up, but see, right now I have the color all the way up, and if I turn it all the way down, so we're, I think, get a little more color out of the other camera, and see how it's but that's not a bad picture. No flick, no sparkles. I don't know. That looks like a better picture. Let me back out because it is a little bit too close. All things considered, that's looks like that's a 5 at the 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock position on the screen. That's not a bad picture of the. Look at the UFO. Flying saucer flying across the moon, guys. Man. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I might stick with this camera. It really is a pretty good image. And I don't care about the color. I don't want it to overdrive the color. I mean, I don't want it to do that. Oops, I have autofocus on and it just went off. So let's bring it back into focus. And turn up the brightness. Try to focus it now. It sure does bring out the color in that area. And you can see when I do that, I still have some things on the lens. Note when I zoom in on 1, 2, eventually those things will go away, but I have to clean the lens. Oh, I know what that's on the By the way, I do all this stuff from inside the house. I have a remote focuser on the camera and on the telescope. There's another UFO, guys. Matter of fact, let's for grins, let's just take that Barlow out and see if we can see any UFOs on the screen. I don't know. I'm kind of hedging my bets right now towards this. Look, there's lint on the bottom right side for this 920. Hang with me, guys. I'm going to take the Barlow out, and we're going to just take a look at the moon in general and see if we can see a UFO before I shut this down. Okay, guys, we're back. 19 millimeter in there by itself with the moon filter. It was just too. It's a very bright moon. In the C920, and that's a really excellent picture. And no sparklies. See, I don't have the dynamic range that I do, and I don't have quite as much color gain as I do on the other camera. But like I said before, I don't care as long as it brings out the color. I don't want to necessarily overdrive the color. But and it seems that the other camera had more contrast control. One thing that for sure, if you got one of these cameras, you probably, after experimenting with it, you realize that it's kind of a learning curve. You have to learn how to use it. And like this new camera, I will have to learn how to bring out the best in it. And let's go back up to the Sea of Serenity and Tranquility, and see, I turn the brightness up, turn the contrast. It's a very, very difficult moon to work with tonight, but you know, you can see the image pretty good. See that blue tinge around the rim of the moon? I think that's from telltale signs of atmospherics on the moon, an atmosphere. And I think we're going to end it up kind of right here where we left. There's another UFO that kind of zipped across the screen. Okay, I like the fact that this new camera doesn't have the sparkles. It does have its own idiosyncrasies, and I'd have to get used to using it. But it does have a lot of potential. And I think the biggest test is just to watch this video and determine what kind of quality I have. When you compare apples to apples, and sometimes you make up your mind. But I just wish I had more dynamic range with not only the contrast and the brightness, but also the brightness on this new camera. See, that's not a bad picture. By the way, the bloated out white, that's because this is a very bright moon. Let's do one more thing before I close this, and I'll close it out below where we do have a shadow line. And let's just see if I can see, that's really difficult to, I have to turn the, actually have to work with the exposure to even look at it. Okay, guys, that's it. Hope you guys are doing well. Next time we'll have a regular session. This is going to wrap it up. I'll have to decide what I'm going to do camera-wise. Wishing you and yours clear skies, guys.